Hey everybody, Matt Kennedy here. I'm excited to be teaching a session for Circle of Wealth users. And our system, the Circle of Wealth system, is the most unique, I think, best system in our industry. I mean, we've got such differentiators, such great tools to teach our clients how money works. We've got the PIM, we've got the financial GPS now, we have the private reserve strategy conversation. We have the spending game, all these unique tools. But in this session that I'm going to teach, we're going to go back a little bit old school Circle of Wealth and talk about wealth transfers. When people ask us what we do, we say we help people find money that they're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily. Have you ever felt like, gosh, I wish I knew more about how to find that money, how to have that conversation, and then how to demonstrate to the client those wealth transfers? That's what we're going to talk about in our session. I'm going to be honest with you. This conversation around wealth transfers has been the differentiating conversation between myself and other advisors. It's opened up so much business. It's given me great confidence to go into any situation, knowing that I can talk about wealth transfers and knowing that they have no other advisor that is filling this role for them. That at the end of the conversation that I'll teach you and show you some of the tools that and how we use some of the Circle Wealth tools to demonstrate this, that the client ends up saying, gosh, I got a CPA, I got an accountant, I even have a financial advisor, but I don't have one of you. I don't have anybody doing what you're doing. What do I need to do to get started? So if you're interested in that, I look forward to seeing you in our session. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey gang, Beth Walker here. So excited to be sharing nuances related to the circle of knowledge and the income game for 2024. I'm excited about this because I've got renewed enthusiasm for this particular module in our Circle of Wealth toolkit. And what I want to teach you is how you can tweak your script and your language for whatever niche you're serving. The principles of the circle of knowledge that lead to playing the income game will stand the test of time. But making them your own is a way that you can differentiate yourself from any other advisor that your prospective client or your client is ever going to come across. And I think it is so very powerful. Circle of Knowledge sets the table in a way that no other module in our Circle of Wealth toolkit can or does. And the income game is so important in terms of engaging the client in the conversation. I think too often we're trying to hurry to get to the solution. But if we take our time, if we ask the questions, if we make our prospective client or client answer those questions, think about it, debate it, both husband and wife, it becomes a much more powerful interaction. And it's a way that very few advisors engage their client. So I'm super excited and I can't wait for us to do a deep dive on Circle of Knowledge and Income Game.
Hello, friends. I'm Brian Bloom, and I would like to introduce you to the newest Circle of Wealth module, the Capital Equivalent Value of Life Insurance, which was introduced to everyone at Cal College this past January. Have you ever been asked the question, what is the rate of return of that life insurance contract that you're proposing? Showstopper question, right? Because it's very difficult to put a rate of return on life insurance. However, with this tool, you'll be able to show what the equivalent rate of return for any other investment would have to be in order to provide the benefits of a life insurance contract. That question is so difficult to answer because is the client asking for the rate of return on cash value, or are they asking for the rate of return on the death benefit? Either way, you're missing out on some important benefits, such as the ancillary benefits of the tax-favored nature of life insurance, the value of the disability waiver. What about the fact that the investment will maximize to its value to all the way to age 100 if there's an early death? These are just a few of the ancillary benefits that can be encompassed when you take a look at the capital equivalent value of life insurance. This new module will allow you to address this question by considering what any other investment, whether that would be gold, silver, real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, municipal bonds, whatever the other investment would happen to be, what would that investment have to earn in order to provide the benefits of the life insurance contract? Well, in the training that we're going to do, you will see how to have the conversation with the client. You'll begin to understand how to actually calculate the rate of return on the capital equivalent value of life insurance. And you will be able to help your client consider the things that they have never thought of before. The capital equivalent value of life insurance will turn the showstopper question into a fountain of referrals. Victor Hugo, the author of Les Miserables, he once said this: more powerful than all the armies in the world is an idea whose time has come. Well, that idea is now at your fingertips, and I hope that you'll be able to join us for this training.
Hey gang, Merl Gilly here. I'm so excited and thrilled to be able to be with you today to share some information that I was asked to share with you. Don is going to be doing some courses in 2024. We rolled out a new calculator at Cal College. It was the Index Universal Life Cost Comparison Calculator. This is a very, very powerful calculator. It allows you to compare one Index Universal Life contract to another, like the Allianz to the Columbus Life to the National Life to North American. Not only can you compare one Index Universal Life product's cost to the other, but what's really, really powerful is you're going to be able to compare the cost of buying and purchasing and funding an Index Universal Life contract against an equity like the S&P price, total return, the Russell, the Dow, any of the equities that are inside the money track system. You're going to be able to compare those costs with what the tax cost consequences are, or if there's a fee or a load against the life insurance policy. So very, very powerful tool. I'm honored and thrilled to be able to share that tool with you on these courses that are going to be announced.
Hello, Matt Zepka here with you. So happy to be back. So excited to talk about the upcoming session I have on the buy term and invest the difference module within the software. So this is the closing screen. I put a couple nuggets up on here just to get you excited about what we're going to talk about. I'll reveal all the specifics of how I did this analysis here, but this analysis specifically about buy term invest the difference shows you how the tax conversation and what we can show with this module is critical to be sharing with your clients and prospective clients. So over here on the left, it shows our compounded interest balance minus our contributions, and on the right, it shows our contributions to the cash value insurance policy, and then all of the opportunity costs that we missed out on in terms of using a taxable account instead of a cash value policy. And notice, we're only $365,000 different between the two, and I have zero cash value in the policy or our analysis. So again, that shows you the power or the missed opportunity from clients not understanding how taxes work. And again, in closing, another very, very powerful, quick flip of a switch, click of a button, however you want to look at it. We can look at this differently and say, hey, our compounded balance was 26 million. We put in 2.25 million over 10 years. Here's all the things we forgot to deduct to get down to an apples to apples comparison. And you will see it's actually negative. The bigger the return, the more the opportunity cost exposure, and the more it hurts the client, to where this actual compounded growth account at the variables and rates that I used had a negative result for the client. And if you can show someone that and explain to them how it works, more power to all the things you can do to help more people. So again, Matt Zepka here. Can't wait to see you. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.
Hello, fellow members of the Money Tracks and Circle of Wealth community. Star Barnum here. I've been asked to share with you one or two of my favorite modules and conversations that I walk prospects and clients through on a regular basis. And so the two that I want to share with you are IFR tutorial and the private reserve expense example. And if you've never used those, You're going to love these. If you use them all the time, maybe you pick up a little tidbits that help me better connect with my prospects and clients. And as you can see here on the screen, this is a little snapshot of IFR. And this happens in step 7 and in step 8 as part of the Circle of Wealth process. And what I love about this is it talks very specifically about how can you become more efficient with your non-qualified, i.e. taxable accounts. And what I have learned is that, you see, there is a dark side of compound interest. That's how I preface this entire conversation. Would you like to hear about the dark side of compound interest? You see, when you earn compound interest in a taxable account, it leads to an annual increasing tax. Would you like to see what that looks like? Most people don't recognize that increasing tax until it's too late. That's why they need our help. The second one, like I said before, is called the Private Reserve Strategy Expense Example. And here, I'll just pull this up real quick. PRS Expense Example. What I love about this is that we talk all the time about how to use loans and you're borrowing against a policy for an expense or an opportunity. But this enables you to walk a prospect through the experience of owning a policy. Whether it's an IUL or a whole life, as long as it's max funded and is building up cash, this allows them to get in that time machine and see how much more effective it is than consistently draining the tank for an expense or an opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to sharing these with you. I have found them to be extremely helpful in communicating some of these ideas with my prospects and clients. And that's why I want to share with you how I use them. Looking forward to it. See you at my session. Bye.